Now we'll continue this chapter with a very interesting part, modeling the electrical cabinet family. Let's return to the family we created in the previous episode, where we imported and scaled 2 reference images to the correct ratio. Start by moving the top image closer to the center point between the 2 reference axes. Next, we'll create reference planes based on the overall dimensions of the cabinet. Using the Dimension tool in the Annotate tab, you'll notice several types of dimensioning options. Aligned dimension allows you to measure between 2 parallel reference planes or multiple points. Angular dimension measures the angle between intersecting references. Radial dimension measures the radius of a curve or fillet, while diameter dimension measures the diameter of a circle or arc. Lastly, arc length dimension measures the length of a curved wall or element. In our case, we'll use the Aligned Dimension tool. Click between reference planes to measure their distances, then click outside to complete the command. Use the small EQ symbol to evenly distribute the spacing between planes. You can also click on a plane to manually adjust the dimension. This will automatically adjust the opposite plane as well. Repeat the same process for defining the cabinet's depth. Now we'll create parameters to control the width and depth of the cabinet's base. Go to Modify, Family Types. A dialog box will appear, displaying information on constraints, dimension parameters, and identity data. To create a new dimension parameter, click on the small paper icon. A Properties panel will appear. Name the new parameter base panel width, set the discipline to common, and the type of parameter to length. Use the Edit Tooltip option to enter a description like parameter controls the width of the electrical cabinet bottom. Click OK to confirm. Repeat this process for the cabinet depth. Next, we'll model the base of the cabinet using these parameters. Choose the Extrusion tool and draw a rectangle, aligning each corner with the intersection points of the reference planes. Click Finish, and don't forget to lock the sketch lines to the planes. Go back to the base sketch. We'll draw a second rectangle offset 50 mm inward from the first. Type 50 in the offset box. Click one corner of the rectangle, and if the offset appears outside, press the spacebar key to reverse it inward, then click the opposite corner. Switch to View 1 and set the visual style to shaded so you can see the modeled object more clearly. At this point, you'll see how the parameters we defined earlier affect the geometry. If the width and depth don't match your intended dimensions, open Family Types and adjust the values. For example, set width to 1000 and depth to 900. Click Apply and the model will update accordingly. This shows that in Revit Family creation, you don't just model the shape and then measure it. Instead, you define reference planes first, assign parameters to control dimensions, and allow the model to adapt based on those inputs. This makes it much easier to edit and maintain consistency across your project. Back to the cabinet base, since this is a 3-dimensional object, we need to create 3 parameters: width, depth, and height. We've already created the width and depth, so now let's add the height parameter. Switch to the front view, create a new reference plane, or press P, and use the Dimension tool to measure the height between the 2 planes. You can either go to Family Types to add a new parameter or use a shortcut. Click on the dimension and select the label icon. The Parameter Properties window will appear. Name the new parameter base panel height. The discipline and type of parameter fields will automatically populate based on your measurement type. Edit the tooltip to say Parameter controls the height of the electrical cabinet bottom. Then click OK. To finalize, adjust the extrusion height by dragging the arrow or using the Align tool, and make sure to lock it to the reference planes. Finally, it's important to double-check each part you've created. Fix any issues now rather than discovering errors later during project use. Catching mistakes early will save you from having to redo the family from scratch, helping you work more efficiently and avoid wasted time.